Sup, witches? Celeste self-record here, coming at you with your full moon October astrology rundown. I figured I'd go ahead and make this an all sign since I haven't been doing the magic stuff. I will be doing the 13 moons, 13 runes. I'll be starting the full moon after the winter solstice. For any other information that you need, definitely check the links below. You can join us on Facebook and all that other good stuff. And yeah. Well, actually, I might as well leave these on while I'm reading, huh? So, yeah, all right. So, for everybody, for what I have down here, for this moon, I've got a lot of big messages here. So, I'm just going to start the rundown, and then I'm going to go with the downloaded messages that I got, and then we will just pull some cards for everybody for all sides. You know, and just see what... Not each individual sign, but I'll do a collective message for all signs when I'm done doing the zodiac rundown. All right, you guys ready for the astrology for this moon? And don't mind. I actually got a hold of somebody the other day. They've offered me a studio space. I just haven't had any time to get up there. For those of you who know me personally, know I had a major death in my family recently. So it's going to take me a minute before I can get to setting up that studio space. All right, but... big changes are coming for everybody. So, full moon in Aries at 9 degrees. The sun is in Libra at 9 degrees. And then we have Uranus in Taurus retrograde at 9 degrees. So, what is this bringing? This is bringing the warrior. This is bringing the scales of justice. And this is bringing the seeker. So, there's a lot of anxiety going around with all the Mars energy going on and the Aries energy going on, especially with the moon right there with them amplifying it. So, this is asking you to ask yourself a lot of questions. If you want your life to, the scales to balance out, you got to ask yourself these hard questions. If you have anxiety, where is it coming from? This is what Uranus and Taurus is doing for you. It's asking you to ask yourself, where is the anxiety coming from? What areas do you need to be persistent in order to punch through the anxiety barrier? And what areas do you need to let go of so it is no longer anxiety, right? Comfort. Are you really in a comfort zone? Or you are uncomfortable in a comfort zone just because you'd rather be with the monster you know than the monster you don't? It doesn't, just because you want to leave the monster that you know doesn't mean there's another monster coming. Sometimes that's the message. It's, we get comfortable in uncomfortable zones. And if you are in an uncomfortable place, ask yourself, how did I get comfortable with this comfort zone? Has this always been my comfort zone? How did I feel before I lowered myself to this comfort zone? And how can I get myself back up into that frequency, right? And gratitude. Attitude of gratitude is very important. Everybody's got a lot of stuff going on, but you should have things that you should be grateful for. The more you are grateful for the little things you do have, the more the universe wants to reward you because it enjoys that energy and it would rather you manifest that than anything else. I'm really reading now. All right, we've got Mars retrograde at 6 degrees of Aries. It said this is a rite of passage. This is still going on. This is still, do you want to just go blazing into battle, swinging your sword? Or do you want to, do you want to come up with a battle strategy? Are you out to just fight or are you out to make peace? Bringing up conflicts and things like that. Sometimes you need to bring it up in order for it to be a conflict so that everybody can finally air what they've been bottling up. Everybody just needs to know when the argument is over. When you guys catch yourself saying the same thing over and over again, then it is time for everybody to retreat to their corners and process what everybody has said. That is the rite of passage, okay? Yeah, people are going to say some hurtful things. People need to resolve some things in their past. They're going to bring up memories and things like that, and we need to work through those, all right? And then, like I said, you retreat to your corner, and you think to yourself, is this an argument you've had over and over again? Is this a new argument? Are you finally breaking through new barriers? Is this something with someone I need to be persistent with? Are they persistently evolving, all right? I don't know how bad the lighting is, but y'all deal. All right, so that's the rite of passage. What do we got? North Node in Gemini. Now, this is bringing, your purpose in Gemini, and everybody's split on the dualistic sides of things. We all have dual nature, and we're all walking that line between, the light and the dark. It's like walking. I deal with the moon, so it's kind of like a lot of us spend a lot of time walking the edge of the shadow. You know what I'm saying? We're just barely in the light, but we're still barely in the shadow, you know, and that's where you get the most growth. It's not the easiest place to be. It would be easier to be fully engrossed in light or fully engrossed in darkness, because that way your eyes can adjust, but you get the most growth on that edge perimeter. Okay? Venus, our heart is in strength in Leo right now, all right? There's been a lot of defeats. There's been a lot of burdens. But there's been a lot of happiness and abundance that have come in over the years. You know, and if it hasn't been coming in for you, and if it's been nothing but loss, you need to ask yourself why that's going on, because these retrogrades should be highlighting conflict areas, but they shouldn't be completely destroying your lives, all right? So there's been some defeats, but were they a defeat, or were you released of a burden you were carrying? I've said before in my life, sometimes the moments where I lost everything were the moments I was actually free to do whatever I want. And that's a big thing. There's a drink here. All right. We got the messenger, Mercury. Mercury is in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is the hard shell with the stinger. So this is about defending yourself and knowing when you need to sting other people. Don't just sting willy-nilly, though, because Scorpions are deadly poisonous. And once the word is said and the stone is cast, it cannot be taken back. At that point, all you have left is to ask for forgiveness. Let it go. All right. We got Jupiter in Capricorn. And the sign, and, you know, that resonates with the card of temperance, which the definition of temperance is actually abstinence and prohibition. So this is isolating yourself from those who feed your vices, those who trigger you, those who get you in those states that mess with your head a lot, because it is bringing in the energy of 8, which is also, you know, self-isolation, purposeful self-isolation for growth and inner work, travel, and it's balancing escapism versus building your education. Like, are you just escaping from the world by diving into books and knowledge, or are you actually working on yourself? You know, and are you escaping into delusions? A lot of us are still doing that. And if you're still in that phase, you know, it's kind of time to start letting up on what's illusion and what's truth, because Pluto is also in Capricorn with 22 degrees, but it is still in retrograde. All right? Yeah. It is still in retrograde. So this is, you know, the death of one cycle and the birth of another. The choices are yours, whether you want to repeat these cycles or not. Do you want to continue these partnerships? Are you making progress with these partnerships? Are these partnerships balanced? Doesn't matter if it's love or not. Are they balancing out? Because if they're not, then it reverts all the way back up to the top. Start asking yourself those hard questions. Why are you fighting so hard if it never seems to progress past this certain point? Saturn, Capricorn. You know, I got the devil with that one, and it's betrayal, and 7. Betrayal, competition, illusion, and visions. Are the visions you're seeing illusions of your own fantasy? Are you manifesting your own visions, or are you totally clearing yourself and allowing yourself to be a channel? There is a difference. There is. All right, and then we got Neptune, Pisces, bringing in that moon energy and the number 10. So this is secrets are being revealed. Secrets you've been bottling up are being let out. Are being let out. This is facing where there's been betrayals, or you have betrayed others. This is facing your own attitude towards things like competition, like I said, and also the illusions and the visions. You know, a lot of people assume just because somebody's doing something similar to them that they are a competition and somehow casting negative energy on them. Not how that works, guys. Not how that works. Some people are just doing what they do. Just because it's similar to something you're doing doesn't mean they're your competition. Life's not about competition. If you're worried about that, the only thing you should be battling is yourself. We should all be aiming to be better than we were yesterday. That's it. Battle yourself. Who were you yesterday? Stop worrying about what other people are doing. If you are presenting a better product, better knowledge, and better whatever, then the competition doesn't matter at that point. You just keep doing you. You keep being genuine to you. Those who understand you will be there for you. Now, the downloaded messages that I got for this moon is the warrior seeks justice, right? The true honorable warrior does not seek war. They actually genuinely prefer peace. That's why they decided to start fighting. They started fighting for peace. The warrior seeks justice, all right? Purposefully, we accept these rites of passage and with a strong and open heart. Purposefully, we accept these rites of passage with a strong and open heart. We understand as we elevate, as we acquire new knowledge, as we expand our minds to different concepts, that some people will fall to the wayside. Some people will get angry. Some people, like I said, other people might be thinking that you're a competition and sending you negative energy. You know, you have to learn how the best way to defend yourself from those people is forgive them. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to even care about their opinions, and then release them to the universe to do with what they will. If you guys are still tied to these toxic people, when these shifts finish out during the winter solstice, guess what train you're going to be on at that point? If there's enough of them attached to you, they will drag you to the other side when the big shift happens, okay? Messages and intuition. The dead needs to be cut back. Now, the other day I was in my garden and my tomatoes that were supposed to have died at the end of the season did not. So I had to do a whole bunch of work. I had to prune back leaves, dead leaves, and lay the stems on the ground and bury them and create a whole new root structure for these tomato plants if they're going to survive the winter. And they'll survive to the first frost. If we don't get a frost, I'll have tomatoes all winter long down here. But this moon is the harvest moon. It's called the harvest moon because this is the last ditch attempt to get as much from your harvest as possible. This is in areas like, Italy and stuff with the grape vineyards in France. This is the last. Stay up all night because the moon is full and it's bright enough to do so, and harvest up as much as you can. Even if they're not ripe yet, you got to harvest it and let it ripen off the vine, because the frost is coming any time now. And whatever you haven't harvested will be lost to the frost. Now, there is 2 full moons this month. The next full moon is the hunter's moon. This is all about preparing for winter. Harvest what you can now. Take all the opportunity you can now. Next full moon will be the final hunt, the final cast out, the final search for doors. The final hunt to harvest in what you need to get through the winter. All right? Because once the holidays and shit kick in, everybody gets onto a whole new gear, don't they? Right? It's all about planning for Thanksgiving, planning for Christmas, planning for New Year's. It'll all turn into that, and it'll be the same anxiety as before, and you'll be fighting more CPUs than you ever had before, okay? So harvest what you can now, hunt for what you can in between now and the next full moon. Be prepared this month. This is it. Really prepare for the Samhain full moon, please, guys. When do we ever get this lineup? A blue moon on Samhain. Not going to get into the rest because that will be the video here in 3 weeks. All right. The final message I get is needing isolation from those who encourage us to make bad choices. You have somebody in your life that is constantly distracting you from what you need to do, where you need to be, and what you need to be getting done. Because that is the definition of an addiction, right? There's a difference between a vice and an addiction. We can what? You have a drink every now and then in the evenings or whatever your vice is. Every now and then is fine. If whatever you're doing distracts you from your daily goals, from your connections to other people, from anything else like that, now that's an addiction. You got somebody who's showing up, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're coming over and they're talking about, let's go do this instead of doing what you need to do, and they do that all the time. And they're that needy, codependent type friend that's always around. You can't, always disrupting you. This is where we need to recognize where we need to set healthy boundaries. If you got somebody in your life that's constantly getting you to make these bad choices, time to really look into it. And secrets being revealed. Dude, this is still going on. The final planets are coming out of retrograde. Like, the new retrograde cycle started with Mercury. But they do overlap like that. The ending of that major retrograde season, where I did all the retrograde videos for you guys, check them out. They're down there. Did all the retrograding planets and the different lessons and everything that we're going to be learning. And a big, huge thing through it all has been just all this revealing of secrets, Everybody's coming into these grand new knowledges, and it's a matter of what you're choosing to do with them. It's a lot. I mean, even on my page, I've always been open. I don't care how other people choose to practice. There will always be, for every light worker, energy worker, Reiki healer, whatever, there is a dark, root-working witch out there crapping in jars, all right? And it's not hard to point these people out and to notice them. If you're on a certain spiritual level and you're hanging out with someone who's shitting in jars, you should be able to smell their energy. People who shit in jars stink. You can tell them. You can tell people who send out hexes and stuff like that. They smell. There's a reason in that song. It says you can smell their intentions. You should be strong enough to be figuring that out by now. All right? And like I said, you got enough of those people in your life, they're going to drag you back over to the other side. I don't care how many viewers I lose doing this. I don't care if you think I'm judgy or not. I mean, threefold, I'm not saying it's going to come back to you threefold, but whatever you cast out does come back. That is not a Wiccan thing. That is not a Christian thing. That is not a Hindu thing. That is not the Asian religions. That is all the way across the board for all beliefs. What you cast out will come back to you. That is like 1 + 1 = 2. Some things just are how it is. Quantum physics and science is even behind it. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. You cannot deny that it will happen. And if you're not on the keel of getting with that message, I really don't care if I lose you as a viewer. You're not meant to be here, and this knowledge is too much for you. Thank you, baby doll. Karma. And the proper definition of karma. Karma is not some floaty lady following you around, punishing anybody who does anything bad to you. That's your ancestors, and they're a little bit more vindictive. But karma is the basic workings of energy. Energy is fluid, and it will always seek to balance itself out. Always. It'll always seek to connect the circuit and balance itself out, regardless of what energy you put in. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I thought about doing all signs, but I'm going to stick with the collective thing just because I do have a lot going on. I told you guys I have a funeral to go through Friday and a lot going on right now, so I can't spend a whole lot of time. Fragmentation. And anger and chains. We're all angry about the way the world is right now. And we're all fragmented and divided. And it's sad. It really is sad. Because I don't know. You gotta pick and choose what's opinions and what's facts, guys. I mean, it's just bizarre to me, the things that you guys will fight about. I mean, one person will sit there and, I'm not going to get into that in this video. Let's get to the message. Like I said, kind of off my game. Got a lot going on in my life. Things that you are very passionate about you're still just beneath the surface. You're quite not ready to fully wake up to them yet. But you're still in that theta REM state where you are still manifesting that at least on one level. And that is a good place to be. Recognize who's wearing masks and who's playing games with you. Figure out where you want to actually invest your pentacles, where you actually want to make those steps in the physical realm. Be mindful of those who just come in to cause conflict and want to fight with you and get you to bury your teeth and then go, oh, you're the crazy one. Be mindful of them. It's just as bad as, casting a hex or whatever. Be mindful of them. Listen to your intuition and your senses. You should be able to tell who's doing these things to you guys, all right? Be mindful of them is the way to tell. Queen of Pentacles. I know you guys have been working really hard to remove the masks. And I know you are very nurturing, down-to-earth, loving people. And I love you all for it. Shout out to my 143. It was 2022 on there for you guys, all right? I know. Be mindful of people who take advantage of you for that, all right? 7 of Swords. There are deceivers out there. Princess of Pentacles. You can manifest what you want into the 3D. You just got to nurture that energy until it gets up. You have to build those skills and not be afraid of failure. You know what I'm saying? You want to try a new type of project, you have to make a prototype. Make the prototype. If it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. Plan them as expected losses, but don't expect a loss. But if you do, assign it a positive meeting. All right? 10 of Swords. Drama Queen card. All right. The project. Stop wallowing in your failures, okay? Everybody messes up. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has a past. Just because I'm against hexing and things now does not mean I did not go through that phase at some points in my life. Everybody does. Almost everybody does. I don't know. I don't think anybody should really have to at this point, considering there's so many of us that are knowledgeable in these areas coming out telling you guys, look, I did a whole bunch of hexing in the past, and yeah, what I wanted to happen to that person did happen. But what I was not prepared for was the ripple effect of what happened to that person affecting everybody I was trying to defend them from. Telling you. Get out of that victim mode. You're not a victim of anything except your own thought processes. The Chariots, you're holding yourself back if you're stuck in a victim mode. You're holding yourself back if you're stuck in a victim mode, okay? 7 of Rods. Build your defenses, all right? Oh, I know you don't want me to tell them. I haven't coughed this whole time. Build your defenses, all right? This is time. This full moon, I personally am going to be working on a lot of souls crossing over the Rainbow Bridge. This has been an accumulation of the last couple months of a lot of souls, and these moons are a big portal for them to be passing over, okay? They stuck around to do what they needed to do, but this is the shift that they're pulling over. So that's what I'm focusing on the full moon. But personally, because I've already done this work on my house last year and the year before, you should be building your protections, all right? Do you have protective barriers set up around your house? No? Okay. Get you some paver stones. Paint you your runes and your protection symbols on the bottom. You can put them upside down around your property. Nobody even knows what they are. Rocks work great for that too. I've used iron spikes with etching in them. You can take lemon juice and draw sigils on your walls. This is a time to be putting up protective barriers, protective sachets, medicine bags, things of that nature. Get them together, recharge them under this moon. That's what this moon is for. Big shifts are coming. The split happens. You need to defend yourself against the shit witches. I'm telling you. Knight of Swords. Be mindful of your words and saying things like shit witches. Your words can and will be used against you. Trust me, as a triple fire sign, I promise you, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of the universe forever until you die, especially with some signs. All right, y'all? So just be mindful. I've said it. The other cards, the other lines, Rose showed it too. Be careful what you say. Don't allow people to drag you into that toxic energy and make you say things that you regret that they can use to screw you over later. You are the high priestess, my loves. This is the time of divine feminine energy going on, all right? The goddess is both the goddess of birth, and because she is the goddess of birth and life, she is also the goddess of death, because that is part of the cycle. For nothing new could ever grow if nothing ever died. Harvest up your energy, ladies and gentlemen, and get to it. You are deceiving yourself if you think you are a victim of anything. You are a victim in that moment. And if you are still here, you are a survivor. Stop lying to yourself. You are stronger than you can ever imagine. All right. Whew. I love you guys. I don't have the energy to do all signs. That is a collective moon message for all signs. I love you guys so much. Please take care of yourselves in these crazy energies. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. And y'all have a beautiful weekend. Hop on over to the Coven, the Silver Cord. I will be sharing the picture of my, this is my astrology DOS. This is just where I put all the moon stuff in it. I'm sharing it already here. I do share the actual picture in the cord, and I will share the different rituals that I will be doing this full moon. All right? I love y'all. Blessed be, and I'll catch you later.